Yes guys, what's going on and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be working on that man on your screen there, Icon Moments, Georgie Best, on loan for 20 games. Now, 20 games with that card, absolutely brilliant. It means you can play nearly a full weekend league with that card. Some people will play a full weekend league and just stop short because they don't play up to 30 games like a lot of people don't these days. But yeah, just 3 objectives to get him done. It's an amazing card. He's got brilliant pace, brilliant shooting, brilliant dribbling, and decent enough passing out on that wing. Not quite seeing his in-game stats on the crossing, so that'll have to be under review. There's 3 sections for this. You have to score 5 goals with 3 Manchester United players in your team, not too bad. You have to play at least 3 matches with 2 MLS players in your starting squad. Again, not too bad. But then the tedious part of this section is the best in class section, where you need to win 7 games of foot, any game modes. It don't really matter, but you have to have 3 Northern Ireland players in it. And if you've seen the market recently, the Northern Ireland players have just shot up through the roof. I'll take you through to my squad screen in a second to show you what team I'm going to be using. And because of the players that I've got in the squad there, I'm probably going to be jumping on foot friendlies again and playing a bit of mystery ball. So without further ado, let's go and see that team. So guys, as you can see, I've put the team on screen there. As you can see, we've met all 3 criteria for all 3 objectives. So we've got Jose Martinez and Javier Hernandez up front. There's your 2 MLS players. We've got the 2 bronzes and the silver in midfield that make up the 3 Northern Ireland players. And then we've got Lindelof, Eric Bayer and Diego Dallo as the 3 United players. And then just around them, I've put James Maddison, the left back for Southampton, who I can't remember his name at the moment, and Willie Caballero in net. That's just a bit of a chemistry booster. Again, not too bothered about the overall team because I will be jumping in mystery ball and getting these objectives done. When I go into the games, there's probably going to be so many goals because I've got to play 7 games that I'm probably just going to show you the best of and the highlights of when I actually did each objective as well. So without further ado, guys, we'll jump into the game and then we'll review best at the end. So guys, a couple of things to note before we jump into these games. I managed to play all the games in Mystery Ball in this one. There was a couple of decent opponents, a couple of frustrating opponents, and a couple of easy opponents as well. So that was sort of how the gameplay went down in this one. I got a bit sick of using the team by the end of it because I think I was rocking 3 bronze players, 7 gold players, and 1 silver player. So, because as you can imagine, over time, the players just can't compete with the good gold players and the good icon players. What I tend to find when you're playing when in this game mode, you tend to find that a lot of people have like 11 icons with 1 game left on loan. So you end up coming up against a full icon squad that you wouldn't usually come up against in other game modes. And obviously, as you can imagine, that's like they have an extra boost on top of the boost that you receive in game. So if you receive a shooting boost, but you've got Del Piero up against me bronze left back, he's also got a pace boost and a shooting boost because he runs past my guy like he gets his free shot off and scores a goal. Now, in this first game, as you'll notice, I show every goal. I show the first 5 goals. I think I show every goal in this game. And I think that's more just because I wanted to give you one game where I show you how everything went down. And then the games afterwards, I just showed you a couple of goals in each game, just to sort of give you an idea of how those games played out. But you didn't really need to see much after that. Just so you know, when you see the shush on screen there, it's purely because a player was toxic before me, and I just had to give it him back a little bit. As you can see, as soon as I went up, he starts skipping everything and trying to rush through the game and not giving the same toxic stuff that he was doing beforehand, celebrating every goal and what have you. So I tend to just show you all my goals in this. A lot of goals are quite similar because you score a lot of your goals with poor teams when you've got the shooting boost or when you've got the speed boost. But overall, they all went quite well. As I say, that first guy was pretty tough to play against. I think the second guy ends up ducking out against me after I score an early goal. But all in all, it wasn't too bad. Like I say, towards the end of it, you get a bit sick of playing with the bronze players. And I've just checked the transfer market not too long ago, and those bronze players have doubled in price now. So I paid about £1,000 to play with each Northern Irish player. But what you'll find is, because they need to be used for the Four Leaf Clover SBC and they need to be used for the George Best SBC, you find they've all jumped up to about £2,000 each now. So to do that SBC costs you about £22,000 for just one section out of 4. And you'll find that to do this squad builder now, you need at least £6,000. At the bottom, I've left the objectives. When you see that writing come up at the bottom, it's just what the objective was to do this challenge, and I thought it might be good if you guys can keep track of it as well as I can. And it's something I've got in mind further down the line with all the SBCs. So when I do the league SBC, I'm going to show, the league objective, and I'll show you how I've done it, and I score 2 goals with each player. I'll probably put a note at the bottom so you can see, oh, he scored 2 goals with, say, the Bournemouth player, 2 goals with the City player, 2 goals with the United player, 2 goals with the Liverpool player. Just so you can see and keep track of it yourself in your head, because I feel like it's a good idea. Anyway, as we move on to what we're thinking about doing in future episodes, I'm thinking about continuing with doing more SBC objective-based content, but I've also got ideas to make squads up interesting squads and run into a FUT Champs weekend or a FUT Rivals weekend and kind of make it like my own mini league. But we'll see how that goes. When I say mini league, I mean like, oh, you're going to play 5 games with that team, 5 games with that team, 5 games with that team, and see which one performed best for me. So I've got in mind sort of using like Leicester. You know, when Leicester were champions, their squad, I think it's still possible to make their 11. I actually think I went all the way back to City in the 11-12 season, and it's still possible to make a team based of their players that are still playing football to this day. Same with United as well, I think in 12-13. I think it's still possible because you've still got Rooney playing. You've got the Legends goals. You've got Phil Jones is obviously still there. De Gea. So there's a chance you can do it with that as well. As you'll notice there on the screen, there's quite a lot of high scoring games in this, and you just tend to do it. You just tend to get high scoring games. It's hard to stop them scoring when they've got the boost, and it's hard for them to stop you scoring, irregardless of team. So as we just look at this George Best, I'll review his stats at the end when we unlock the card. But I just wanted to point out a few things now. Price-wise, so you're getting him for 20 games, and he actually costs just over 4 million coins at the moment on PlayStation. So for 96 pace, 98 dribbling, 95 shooting, and 85 passing, that's it's not a bad trade-off. And like I say, you can get a full weekend league out of George Best because most people don't play to 30 games anymore. It's almost pointless. So to use George Best off the bench or in your team would be a decent opportunity, and then like I say, most people tend to leave one game on the right icons, so they can always jump in FUT friendlies and get future objectives and challenges done. So that's not a bad idea. The one thing that I think I've mentioned in the past is that his strength's a bit weak. He struggles. That's the bit where I'd be looking at using a chemistry card that improved his strength. I know a lot of people in the past have tended to look at maybe an architect or a Deadeye, something like that. Personally, I would probably lean to a Hawk further down the line, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, we're just about to jump into this last game here now, and I actually end up going 6-3 up, I think, of this goal. But I just wanted to mention the thing I'd mentioned in the past couple of videos, that it's possible to win a FUT Friendlies game, but actually get beat on the scoring game. So in this game, I actually got beat 13-12 in the end, but I put the ball in the net 8 times, he put the ball in 7 times, as you can see at the top of the screen there. So EA actually gave me the win for that one, and that was the final game for that challenge. So anyway, that's the games played, and we're going to go into opening up that George Best now and seeing what we think about the card overall. So guys, here we have it. We got George Best in the end. It took a while. Like I said, it took 10 games instead of the 7 that I thought I could do it in. I started off really well, but come up against a couple of really good players who decided they were going to play full icon squads and approach it like it was a FUT Champs weekend. So it got a bit tricky with that. But as you can see there, we did the Red Devils challenge, the American Dream challenge, and the Best in Class challenge. The Best in Class part of it was the worst part, but we got over that in the end and managed to get it. So there's the George Best with a 300 XP, which will go nicely towards the Season 5 rewards. And if we just dive into his card, we're just going to take a quick look at his stats and see what we think of it overall. So 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, can't complain with that. High medium work rates is great as well. It means he'll stay forward and in position a little bit better. 5-9 don't matter because crossing's not effective at all this year. As you can see, most of his stats are phenomenal. I'd like to see his long passing and short passing a little bit higher, but it's not too bad. And overall, the only major complaint I've got with the card is the strength. The strength being down at 70 might become a bit of an issue later on. Maybe a chemistry card that boosts physical, something like a Hawk, pushes pace up to the maximum, pushes shooting up to the maximum, and then push that strength to something respectable. I think he'd go to 80 strength with that. There we can see the new traits page, so we can see that he's a flair player, and I think when he plays against the computer or he plays with the computer, he's a technical dribbler as well. So yeah, interesting to see that. And then obviously if we just take a look at his club career, obviously he had a massive history in Manchester United, even played a few games for Fulham, and then ended up and he was played in America at some point there.
I think he used to go out all the time with Rodney Marsh at the time. Who was, when he was at United, Rodney Marsh was at City, they went out together, and then same when they ended up in America. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this content and you'd like to see more of it in the future, I mentioned a couple of times I've got big plans coming for this channel. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.